So first guest up is Sam Mutimer, who is the founder and now CEO of TTS, which was formerly known as Thinktank Social. Now, I'm so excited to be interviewing Sam. I've had a secret girl crush on Sam for, I think, about 12 years. We both jumped into social at about the same time before it was cool. It's a shame that we can't be in the studio live together, but Dan Andrews down here in Victoria said that we need to mask up now, so we are being super safe, but I do have my little mask here ready to pop on when I get off this interview. But first up, Sam, welcome to the show.
Kylie, so excited to be here.
I know, and I was so looking forward to be able to bouncing off you in the studio, but hey, us two together, our energy, I'm sure people are still going to be able to feel it remotely.
Absolutely. We're nothing less than that.
Okay, so there's so much we could unpack about you. Such a dynamic woman, as I said. Had a bit of a girl crush on you for about 12 years. Can't even remember the last time I shared the stage with you. But what I'm really excited about is sharing your backstory, how you went from an injury to an opportunity, how you broke your leg and it gave you a leg up into starting your own business. Pardon the pun, but I'm not going to steal your thunder. Give us the backstory. Tell us all about how TTS came about, Sam.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Kylie. It just shows that in bad situations, you can always find a way. There's always your silver lining. There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
You got it.
Yes, I used to play rugby for England. Used to be a secondary school PE teacher. I love people. I love helping them get from here to here. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I got over teaching in London, in grey old London, when it was getting dark at 2 p.m. And I fell in love with Neighbours and Dr. Carl Kennedy, which actually brought me to Australia.
Are you serious?
I swear down.
That's that's a story I didn't know.
Yeah, we love it back in the UK. So thank you, Neighbours, for bringing me here. And yeah, since I got to Australia, it's a land of opportunity, right? People are walking around with their heads up. They were smiling. London, it's like this. Hardly get an eye in.
Doom and gloom. But I want to talk. Don't bring us to Australia just yet, because really your idea to start in social started in London when you broke your leg and you had a cask on it, and you decided to put up some amateur YouTube clip, I believe, and you were auctioning off for people to be able to sponsor your cast. So that is, you put it up and you got thousands and thousands of views overnight. This is going back 12 odd years ago, and that's really where the idea of getting into social came from, right?
Absolutely. Where there's people, there's opportunity, and there's money and there's growth. So I just naturally fell into social media. I wasn't a marketer. I was a PE teacher, but I love people. And over time, I got really curious, on Twitter, why do people engage? What gets someone to do something, to take action? And I just saw an opportunity back in 2008. No one was really doing it. And I thought, right, well, I'm going to back myself. I definitely believe in it. I see there's traction. My mum was saying, oh my goodness, you've got a BA degree, and it was just vested into PT.
But don't you think that served you, though, Sam? Because I know that at TTS you very much specialise in education, strategy, consultancy, but you had the foundation of education there, I think, from your teaching background, and then combine it with being a big personality and your leg being sponsored and having thousands of views on YouTube. It was kind of like the perfect storm for you, right? And being an elite athlete, you're used to hard work.
100%. And God, it was hard work. The first 3 years, it was like staying in the game long enough to stay alive.
I'm hearing you.
I was turning left and right, and but the passion was there. And I'm like, the money will come. Just find a way. You believe in this? I had so many people saying it's not going to happen. It's a fad. It's where people put up their food. And for me, it wasn't about the channel. It was like, that's just a mess. That's a pipeline for a message to get out there. It was about how can we engage with people to help them get what they want, and we get what we want. And over that time, it's been 12 years now.
So you came to Australia in 2008, right?
I came to Australia in 2005, actually, just travelling.
Okay.
Me, my sister and my mate, and fell in love and got married, and then decided, oh gosh, I haven't seen mum and dad for a couple of years. So then went back, and that's when I played that game of rugby and smashed my leg into, which was honestly the best thing that could have ever happened.
Oh yeah, and this is this whole silver lining that you're talking about, right? Through storms come rainbows, and the storm does break, and when there is silver linings in it. So okay, so you're now in Australia, 2008, and you had this crazy idea. I think I just might start an agency specialising in social.
Yeah, and I built it up over time. I thought, who knows about this more than me? How can I bring in an educated team to help me grow? So I'm learning, they're learning. And it just snowballed into the fact where a couple of years ago, we just went, you know what, we're so much more than a social media agency. Like, we're about people, we're about education, we're about empowerment, we're about being bold and giving them courage to think a little bit differently. Growth marketing. So that's where we are today, and that's people come to us for social.
Sam, and you've got such a huge reputation in Australia. Like, you are now considered one of the leaders in agency world, in social, in growth, in marketing, influencing. And I think with your sports background, you know, for me, watching you niching as well, helping thought leaders and profile people, celebrities as well as sports stars, how to build out their brand. And in particular, which I want to get into, is I looked at all the stats with your ex-golf PGA tournament that you ran over the weekend. You gave me a bit of background on it, but I had no idea that this was a world first. So talk to me about, well, let's get into our current time. So none of us planned for COVID, in particular the sporting industry. I know that you do a lot representing and helping, assisting, partnering with sports stars. So talk me through this crazy idea that you're going to take golf simultaneously through every state of Australia and bring it online for the first time. Talk me through that strategy.
Yeah, well, it was actually CEO Ben and Sarah Starr's idea. Originally, we were going to have the event in 4 different locations: Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide and Melbourne. But then obviously we cannot all get together now. So what we decided to do, and thank you, Sarah, from X-Golf, for being so bold enough and courageous enough to back us, was the fact that we said, hey, hang on a minute, let's do it 2020 style. You know, people are Zooming, people are on Facebook Live. So what we did, honestly, we had 4 days to turn it around. And we were just looking at what's the best way to do it. Let's test and learn, and then make sure that we're really, really in the moment and have every backup possible to go live. So we went live through Zoom.
So when was it? It was Wednesday or Thursday last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wednesday last week. Yeah. And we didn't know what to expect. We were embracing
uncertainty. So pro golfers men and women pro golfers from around Australia.
20 of the pro golfers around Australia. We had celebrities as well, and we had the golf barons. And we had 4 laptops in those event areas in X-Golf
So you were streaming on Facebook, you were doing some Insta stories all the way through it, you used the Zoom platform, and you set up golfing simulators.
Well, the X-Golf is golfing simulation. Yep. So it's within itself.
You used X-Golf as a simulator, yeah?
Yeah, and then PGA came on and helped us amplify it. But what we found was that Zoom's got a plug-in. So when you run a Zoom, you can then plug it into Facebook Live. So then you've got an audience on Zoom, you've got an audience on Facebook Live. You can also do YouTube Live. But what we loved about it was the fact that we could switch between area to area, just like watching TV. And then
you're having all these different views and different holes and different putts and different, what do you call it? Like when you hit it, different drives, different, oh no, you can tell I'm not a golfer.
Don't ask me that. But the whole purpose of doing it was really to raise awareness, like doing it for Jared and around the challenge.org.au. And so we wanted a lot of people to go there and donate. So that's about kids and cancer. And so that was the whole purpose of it. So people were going away and sharing on Facebook Messenger backwards and forwards with us that they've gone away, they've bought the pack. And so it was really about not only...
Sorry, Sam, but to date, I noticed that you're over 32,000 views already just since last Wednesday of something you turned around in 4 days. It's kind of gone viral. It's a world first. I mean, that's incredible what you were able to achieve, and obviously helping charity as well.
Yeah, it was a team effort. Oh my goodness, like X-Golf, PGA, Golf Barons, everyone else, the golfers themselves, celebs, everyone was all chips in. It was roll up the sleeves. Let's do this, guys. Let's do something a bit different. It's 2020. Let's do it 2020 style.
I love it. So, yeah, it was such a success for you. So it brings me to the next question, Sam, is that like your prediction post-COVID or 2020 style, what does that look like? What do you think is that key ingredient to really succeeding online and in social, you know, now, but also when we get out of lockdown, we're not going to be in it forever. So what's your prediction around this space?
It's like really humanizing technology. And, you know, I really see the personal branding space continue to explode and people resonate with people. So I really see like a lot more CEOs, founders, and we know that real estate now, athletes are investing in personal brands because they're relatable and you relate with people, and then you go to brand secondly. So the more people can put their stories out there and obviously add value on some level, that will get the brand out there as a whole as well. So what we're noticing is in the real estate game, CEOs, athletes, they're all now investing in self. But it's not a selfish way. It's about how can I share my story to help others get what they want. I get what I want, but they always have purpose and a why behind it. Like
Yeah.
know who they are, know what they stand for, their values, and I love it because it brings me back to my roots of education.
Yeah.
Seeing people grow.
It's fantastic, Sam. I'm so proud of everything that you're doing. You're such a breath of fresh air. You're an innovator. You're a creator. You're very agile in what you do. And you're super fun. And I cannot wait until we get out of lockdown and we can have a celebratory bubbles together. But before we wind up, please let us know, where is it that we can find out more about TTS?
Okay, right now, just because the old website's still there, go to LinkedIn because it's the most organic platform for us.
Okay, so LinkedIn. Yep. And are you on Sam Mutimer on LinkedIn, or have you got a Thinktank social page there as well?
Yeah, Sam Mutimer, and then also Thinktank social.
Okay, so at Thinktank social, across the socials, that's where we can find out more.
Yes, I can't believe I just did a double thumbs up then.
I'll give you a double thumbs up too. Thanks, darling. I really appreciate it. It was super cool to be interviewing you. Talk to you soon. See you soon.
See ya.